Hello and welcome to my staff table. I wanted to show you gameplay from the game Stargard Solstice. So it will be my first playthrough in English war game. So I appreciate it to support me and comment if you want to have something add to my playthrough. But I will try to do my best. And this game will be more narrative game than more technical. So if you guys will like this kind of narrative playthrough, give me any comments. Okay, so let's start. So this game is about the Operation Solstice in the beginning on the 1945. This is Pomeranian map. The Germans will try to cut off supply line for the first Belarusian army, and the Soviet then try to counterattack the Germans. And this game is starting in the March 1945, and you can see here the main river Oder is the big river here. There are several lakes, small rivers, small towns, and the big town is the Stettin. Is the main hub, logistic hub for the German army in the Pomeranian region. So let's have see what is the objective for the both sides. There is sudden death rules here. For the Russian is take the Stettin, these three hexes, main hexes on the city, and for the Germans is move any 3 units on the south supply lines. So here and on the also down Berlingen. But is nobody achieve any sudden death, the both sides will be fight for the victory points. So the VP, most of the VP, there is the table with the VP. So the both sides will want to try to capture most VP as they can. Okay, so let's set up our forces first. So right now on the map you can see the victory points, the key cities on the map, and let's try to set up forces. So I will start from the Germans. The first forces which I set up will be Stelz 2. So this is defense of the city Stettin. So here you can see the defenses of the south of the of Stettin. The force will try to hold the city Berlitz and Bern. And this force is not very strong. There is only a few good units there. There is a lot of Volkssturm and combined forces for the local citizens. So we will move to the next forces. But before we do this, let's put this cheat to the Mac. So this game is the random cheat pool system. So you will see later how it works. And now let's set up 39 Panzer Corps on the map. So this unit is much better than previous one. So we have some. We have 10 SS Panzer Division here and 4 SS, also 28 SS Division and 33 Division from the Wehrmacht. So much stronger. So this will be our second stronger forces here. So now we will set up third Panzer SS Corps. So it will be our best units here there. And of course, before the setup, this cheat also lands here. We will draw from the map again. the game starts. And now let's back to the setup of the third SS Panzer Corps. And third SS Panther Corps is set up, already done. So my goal to relieve the siege of Arsvenwald and move the units on the south of the map. So the best for here in the map right now. Always move to the cap. And let's set up another forces. It will be Group and Munzel. So this group will be split over the map. So we need a wider view to see that. Okay, so this setup also is finished. So you can see that this part of this forces is on the Stargard, on the Group and Munzel, and then on the rest of forces we can see here and here, and also on the east side of the map. So we need to, the task for these forces, we need to consolidate them to have in range, command range, all units, to have all units in the command range. So the last setup for the Germans is 10 SS Corps. So 10 SS Corps will be set up on the east side of the map. So let's finish this setup. Okay, so the setup for the Germans completed, 10 SS Corps on the map. So his main task is to cover our right flank, our advance to Arnsveld. Okay, so now we will start the Soviet setup. So second Guards Tank Army will come on the map. The starting setup is the middle of the map, so let's finish this one. So setup is finished, so we can see that the forces of the second Guards Tank Army is pretty strong. They besiege one city of Ban, wants to try to capture Peritz city. They move, even the Spearhead move towards Stargard. So this is our very tough opponent to beat for the Germans. So the next setup will set up 61 army. And before I did some mistakes, so I moved to forward these two tank divisions. So only this division, motorized division here on the spearhead, so rest is close to the river. Okay, so let's back to the 61 setup. Okay, so setup finished. 61 army is besieging city of Asternswald and hold this line which we want to break through this 61 army. So next we will set up Konstantinov group. Konstantinov group is the small cavalry motorized motorized and cavalry units. So as you can see, only these 3 units you can set up here. And the last setup for the Russians is the 47 army. And this setup also consists Polish forces, Polish First Army, people of army, of course. So let's finish this one. Okay, so setup is finished. Here is the Polish army on the right of the map. On the middle there is yellow 61 army and rest of this 47 army is spread across the map. So we need to also consolidate them. Russian needs to, of course. So let's start for the first turn. So this is a view from the map, from the full map. So the German goal is relieve the city from the siege and move 3 units of this Panzer Corps move out through the south of the edge of the map. So game start with the sequence of the play, the air unit phase. So we will move those two grounded Luftwaffe force to the refit box. And next turn, those two Luftflotte will be available to have support our units. On our box now we have two Luftflotte. So in the combat phase, we can use those two to support our attacks. So next step is the random event. And now the second thing is the random event. So will you roll for the table? And our roll is 4, so it's a German surprise. So it means this event give to Germans +1 modifier to the roll for the first attack selected by the third SS Corps. So German achieves some surprise. So they will want to use them only for the first attack. And there is special rule on the first turn. The first activation must go from this core, and wherever we attack any army of the Soviet army, they have activated after German activation. So, for instance, if we attack the yellow and the blue, the white units here, the Soviet will have two activation of the yellow core and the Konstantinov group. Yellow core, so it means it's one army, and Konstantinov group. So it's very important to have good strategy before the activation. So commander of this Panzer Corps have the idea that he will throw everything to achieve the sudden day victory. So he will wants to focus in the first turn to relieve the city and then move swift dash to the south. So activation it means first move then fire. So let's move. Let's show us how the move works. And there is also special rule on the first turn that the range of activation is not count. So all units is into the command. So this value 10, it means 10 hexes away from this HQ. All units can be activated, but on the purpose of the first turn, we'll skip this rule. So all units in the command. So we can move all red units, red stripes, or red mark, or independent unit like here without anything. We can activate two of these independent units as well. So now we will move the all red units and two independent. So let's show you how we remove the 5 of 3 heavy tanks battalion of the Germans. So they will move 1 point of movement through the clear lane and then use half movement points using the roads. So the second movement point is here. Third movement point we're going south, and then we will move to here to the swamps. So will be one movement point to get there, and plus 2 movement points to go to move to the enemy zone control. So will be total of 6 movement points. And we finish activation of this unit, so we can move in the same manner. We will move the all remaining units. And next unit, I will move this Panzer destroyer, tank destroyers to the same battalion. We will move the same manner, and then this 105 Panzer Panther units consists the Panther unit, Panther tanks, of course. I move rest forces in this area to prepare attack on this 61 army. So we'll want to attack this here and this unit here and here. So our attack only consists units from the 61 army so far. Okay, next steps, I will cross these forces here through the river, and I will prepare launch attacks on these 2 units if I can. So now I will count our movement points, and I will check what the best option for them move forward. And you can notice there is no mandatory stops when we enter Nick Ezok, usual such games. So we can add 2 movement points to move to the Zog, and when we want to leave the enemy Zog, so we need to add additional 2 movements points. So for this unit here, we can move for 3 movement points to the enemy Zog here, and we can move for the 5 movement for 4 and 2.5 movement point here using the roads is count half movement points, 2 for exit zone here and 2 for enter here. So it will be total of 4.2 movement points. So we finish our movement. Of course, there is half movement point left, so we cannot spend here, for instance, because we need to pay additional 2 movement points to leave this Ezok. So this is all what we can do this unit. Okay, we crossed the river in the full core. Only what we left some units on the north, our reserves. So let's move this reserve close to the combat zone. Okay, we already finished our all movement points, all movements of the unit. So only what we rest. So we need to position good positioning of this HQ to have all this unit in the command range. So I think this will be good support for the HQ. So now we will count our combat. Okay, so our first attack with the surprise will be camp group void. We attack this tanks here. The combat factor, attack factor is 2, to defense also 2. So it's a 1-to-1, but we have surprise, which is surprise. So we have 1 to roll, 1 plus RAM to the roll, and this Germans use the Luftflotte to support this attack. So our odds is from 1-to-1. We will shift to row to the right. So we have 3-to-1. So we will roll to the table on the 3-to-1 odds. 4 plus 1 is 5. So it means D1. So defender lose 1 step. And German and Soviet tanks receive loss from this surprise attack, and our German Luftflotte moved to the ground box because they will use full strength of this force. We can also use on this 1 shift column, so this counter will be moved to the refit box, so the next turn will be available, but we want to hit hard as we can to relieve our forces there. So now surprise attack is ended, so we will move to the normal attacks. So we will start from the left to attack to this 80 infantry division from the 61 army. So let's check. Let's see how it goes. So on this combat, on this units, we have 21-4 is the 5-to-1. So it's pretty good odds. So let's roll. It's at 5. So it's D2R. So 2 losses for the Soviets and retreat. So this division is the rifle division is eliminated to taking 2 losses. So now is the advance after combat. So all units participated in the combat can advance. A mechanized unit can advance 2 hexes. The first hexes should be and the combat was. So the first hex of advance here, and the next could be any hex. So this combat is resolved. So we can see that 27 SS division and elements 2 second SS division is moved to complete this achievement to his objective. But there is still some Russian forces here. So let's see how the next combat on this 23 division rifle division looks. So those units here attacking across the river. So the combat factor of this unit is halved. So we need to count all the values of the attacks, then half the value and strip down the friction. So this stack is stacking full strength, and this one is halved. So now we have 13 to 3. So it's 4-1, and German decides to support this attack with the Luftwaffe, with the Stukas. So it will be now 6-1. Okay, so let's roll to this attack. 6-1, and it's 1. So it's only DR2. So the Soviets has lucky to they need to just retreat 2 hexes. And then the Germans can make the advance. Advancing the prohibit hex is not allowed, so we cannot move through the marsh here, because we are on the road. So we will not advance here, so only these forces can advance. Okay, so this attack is resolved. So let's resolve last attack on the 415 division, rifle division here. So now odds is the 13-4, is the 3-1. So let's roll for the table. 2. So attacker retreat and defender lost 1. Has 1 loss, and the defender is defending on the village, but village is negate only retreat. So also this unit here can also negate the retreat. So only units here must retreat from the German side, and the Soviets has step loss. Sorry for the mistake, but this unit also needs to retreat. The only defender received this retreat. So on the other systems was different, but this system, the attacking unit, do not have a benefit from attacking from the village. Okay, so now is finished. So every attack of this core is finished. So we will try as much as they can to relieve the city here, the besieged city. So now is the counter activation from the Soviets. So we attack only this yellow formation. It means 61 core. So this core is now activated. So we need to take this 61 army cheat from our Mac. And put to the draw cheat box. means that this core is will be no longer activated in this turn. Okay, so let's activate the 61 core from the Soviets. So they have very tough situation right now. Some units are surrounded, so we need to consolidate and move forces here to stop German advance. So means it really surprised them. It catch them with a surprise. So German achieved the surprise of this attack. Okay, we finish our movements for the Soviet, and now we need to positioning this unit here. They have in range one independent guards tank unit, so they can activate them as always. As second one is this country here. So let's positioning, and we will try to attack these German units here. Okay, so we will launch attack here, but there is a fog of war on this game, so we cannot check the stack, the counters on below. So there is some fog of war here, so it's good for game. So we have a total of attack. Our attack is 10, so our attack factor is 10. Let's check defense. So now it's 7, so it's 1-1. But the Soviet also use the Air Force, Air Force power, but they use only one, shift one. So this Air Force will be available on the next turn. So we'll move our type from 1-1 to 2-1. We'll shift right, and so let's check how the war, but the combat there is resolved. 4. So it means defense retreat. So retreat 1x. So the Soviets drive away the Germans on this position. Combat was on the clear hex, so no any benefit from the terrain effect. So now we can advance. Russian can advance, and when you look at on the retreat path, only this hex was good for the Germans, because when we retreat through the Zog here or here, we will have combat. We need to take a loss for the retreat in the Zog. So now let's do advance. Soviet just advance one stack here, and they happy right now. And this is finish of this activation. So now we need to randomly choose from the MAC one cheat. And of the first turn, the German can activate 5 units, 5 cheats, and the Soviet have only one cheat can be activated. Okay, so let's pick one random cheat here, and this one is the defenders of the Stettin. Okay, let's move these forces on the map, but there is one problem here. We don't know. We don't want to attack this green forces with the stripes, green stripes. Second guards tank core. So don't want to trigger this activation right now. So only what the Germans make on this activation, they just move forces here in the close to Pyritz. Now is the Poland territory, is Pyrzowice, so now we have a better position here to make stronger defensive position towards the Stettin. So no attacks, so only move. So we will now take another cheat. Okay, so let's take the cheat. And this is second guard tank corp. So we don't want to activate this one, but it's activated by the cheat right now. So this is only one activation what they have in this turn from the random pool. So the rest activation could be only through the activation sheet, but only it's left is this Konstantinov group on the west. So now after this activation, almost all activation will come to the German side. So now let's focus what the Soviet player do. Okay, so the Soviet player finish their movement. They will prepare attacks to help 68 army. They send some guards tank division very strong. They also prepare attack to get off the Germans from this side of the lake. And also they prepare attack to Pyritz to capture this victory points. Maybe some attacks on the right side. On the left side also there is some strange attack tanks versus Volkssturm units. Okay, so let's make this attack with the tanks. The target is the Volkssturm unit, so it's the 4-1. Is it the count? So let's roll. It's a 2. So DR, defense retreat. But the village, the guys retreat result, so they will stay. They stop the Soviet tanks. So that's all. So next attack. So next attack is tanks attacking this Kampf group. Infantry, German infantry is 3-1. So let's roll. It's a 1, so it's I1DR. So the Soviet tanks take loss and the Germans retreat. So that's all for the combat, and my combat on the Perlitz, the assault on the city. So the total factor of attack is 27 and defender has only 5. So it's 27 to 5 is the 5-1. No air support, no nothing. So only the cities on the guides, first loss and first retreat. So Soviet counts to the good roll. So let's roll. It's F3, so D1, so city negates first loss, so nothing happened. Germans holds the city south is not succeed. So let's move to another combat here. And this infantry is surrounded by the tanks. So it is 11-2 is 5-1. But we need to check terrain because there is the swamps here. So attacker is halved. So 4 attack from this, 1 attack factor. This one is now 5. So it's only 2-1. So let's check what the Soviets do in the swamps. AR, just this is the one. So this is AR result. So attacker retreats. So this is the result of these attacks. They hold also in the swamps. So the main attack here on the SS 27 division of the element of the 27 of the SS. This is Kampf group. So let's check this one. So this is 14 attack to 3 of defense. Is the 4-1 Soviet tanks now attacking on the clear terrain. So let's roll the dice. 4 D1. So the Germans hold, but the suffered loss. So this is the result of this attack. first losses also for the Germans. The Soviets wants to counterattack everywhere they possible to defend a step loss for the Germans. Okay, so this is this activation is over, so we can draw another cheat. Okay, let's check what will be next. Munzer group right now. So Munzer group is close to the Stargard, but the rest of his forces is on this side here. So the plan is to take forces here and move as much we can, and then try to attack some Soviet tanks maybe here. On the first tour, the special rule that we don't bother about the command range, so all units is on the command, so we can activate all our units on the whole map. Okay, so let's move these forces and consolidate them. So we are finish our movement. So the rest of this Menzer group is here, is going towards Stargard, and then we will resolve this combat here. The Guards tank division Soviet is surrounded right now. We activate this camp group to finish an encirclement here. So let's count our combat factor. So we have only 17. This is not a very good units. There is a lot of them, but not good quality. So 17 to 4 is 3 to 1. So let's roll. So it is 5. So D1. Soviets suffer 1 loss. So the Soviet takes 1 loss. The fight was on the Varnitz village. So this village help only for the retreat, not for the step loss. So we finish our activation. So let's move to the another activation. We only attack Guards unit, red one. So red one is already activated. So we need to draw another cheat. Okay, let's check what will be next cheat. And will be 10 SS core. Alright, so the most of the green units is here in the left flank of the German advance. So we need to take our advance, and we need to force Soviet to send our troops here to this area to relieve our main forces. So let's move and cover left flank of the German advance. Okay, we finish our movement. So the only what they want to do is attack on this Polish cavalry division. This cavalry is on the hill, so you can check here. There is some obstacle. There is here, so the attacker is halved. So 1 for those 2 hexes, and for this second hex is another 2. So combat factor is 4 to 3. So 1 to 1s. So German only what he can achieve is the good roll, and when the Poles retreat to the forest, they will suffer a step loss. So let's check what is the output of this combat. 1 to 1, and it's 5. 5, it's mean on the 1 to 1 is DR. So Poles will retreat and lose 1 step. Yes, because they lose 1 step because they retreated in the enemy zone. So now we can advance. So German advance to this hill. They capture this hill. And now I think so they will play more defensive right now. Okay, so this activation also is finished. It's only 2 chips left. Let's check. And Konstantinov group right now we will activate. And Konstantinov group is here on these 3 units, 3 motorized cavalry units. So I think so they will try to push back these Germans here, so they will concentrate attack. You can also activate this independence unit here. So now they will have 15, 18 combat factor and defensive. Defender have 7, so it's 2 to 1. So it's pretty good for the Russians, so they will try to attack. So let's check the roll. 2. So 2 to 1 is attacker lose 1 step, and defender must retreat 1 hex. Okay, we finish. So the defender attacker lose step from the strongest unit, from the point of view of attack factor. Of course, if defender need to lose the step, the strongest unit from the defender value. So our cavalry unit must take loss instead of, for instance, this tank here. So the fight is finished. The Russian has vacant hex, so it's empty, so they can advance here. So I think so they will do. Okay, though, so this activation is finished, and the last activation is 39 Panzer Corps. It's the strategic reserve for the Germans. So this is our last cheat in our map. So we need to. So this is the last activation of this turn. And I think what is the best option for this our strategic reserve? So for instance, when we want to push back here the center Soviet, so we need to send and maybe force here to concentrate into pushing back the strong guards units, and also we can split some forces to help to defend Pyrits. So maybe this is the best option for this core. So let's make them move all those units. Okay, so finish movement. So as I said, we split to the main body our core to 2 different parts. So now we need to make sure that our command range will be on the all units, cover all units. Okay, I think so this will be good spot for the HQ. So now let's resolve combats. Okay, so let's resolve this combat here, the big one, the big tank battle, elements of 10 SS, 28 SS, and the Wehrmacht division. So they will launch attack on this Guards tank division. There is only 2 to 1 odds. Russians has 8 defense factor. I think so. They are also in the village. So let's roll 4 to 1. It's a 1 only. So attacker retreats. So now the score is in trouble. So the Soviet even who independent won this combat, even repelled the Germans attacking German panzers. So the last last combat on the story will be here in the Peritz. So there is only small battle here between tanks and motorized division. It is only 3 to 1 odds, so let's roll to the table. 6, so Soviets suffer 1 loss and must retreat. So this is big success. So I think so. The Cerament 4 SS will advance to threat HQ, Second Guards Army HQ. Threat this the overrun HQ by the German forces. Okay, but there is some slight gap here, then the Russian tanks can enter, but the German player will take the risk of that. Okay, so this sequence command phase is finished. So now in the supply phase, we need to check supply of the all units. So checking supply lines is easy in this game. So we need to make a line, continuous line of to the supply source from all units, from the supply source to the units, and it should be free of enemy zog. But our units, our cheats negate this zog for purpose of checking supply. So you can check here this guard tank unit is auto supplied, is surrounded by enemy zogs, and this unit is can trace supply through this hexes here. It's also forbidden to trace supply to hexes we cannot enter. So sure, this big leg is cannot cross them. Okay, I think so. This is only one unit. Is lack of supply right now. Here you can see there is a unit that can negate, so there is supply line here. And the Soviet also has supply line. Also, this is supply for them on the below. And I'm looking, and there is one thing one thing happened. This city can trace supply through this hex, so it means that it is not under siege right now. So the value of VP is changed right now. So now the VP count of the city was 5, but now when we relieve from the siege, we will swap this VP marker to the other side. So now the VP is only 1 point if the Soviet capture them in the next phases. The next counterattacks only has 1 VP value. So this represents, that the city was surrounded, and then now is not surrounded again, not siege again. So the refugee can leave the city and help the citizens to save their lives. So now the Germans have supply line through this hex, so they achieve so same minor victory in this area. Okay, so next phase. So next phase is the reinforcement segment. So both sides received the new units. Okay, so let's start from the Germans. There is only small reinforcements for the German. So they received one navy unit infantry here, and one cheat is the white cheat. Using this cheat, German can activate any kind of HQ, so even can activate any core 2 times, but not consecutive and tip 2. So we cannot activate twice. So this cheat will go to the pool, and this independent unit we can move. I will move here. This is not independent. This is for the 13th defense group. Okay, so let's now move to the Soviet reinforcement segment. Okay, Soviet received this sheet, 47 army. This is brown units. They have some very limited sheet counters units on the map, so then we can activate this army. So this going to our mag, our pool, and few reinforcements here available, so we can move this and this unit from from the entry D. So this will move to the right side, to the east, to help defend this breakthrough here. And this unit also will move to side also as well. Okay, so this unit goes to defend the Berlingen, and this tanks advance towards SS units. So the next we will move to the next entry points, and there will be some units on the entry F and G. So the reinforcement is the Polish HQ and some infantry, and here there is also infantry from the blue corps. That blue corps is not fully enter yet, so they just move and they will wait for the HQ. Okay, so that's all for the reinforcements. So now next phase is the Soviet replacement, but there is nothing on the track, no number. So now is the Volkssturm deployed. If we lose any Volkssturm unit, we can deploy them again. But there is no losses for the Volkssturm, so we'll skip that phase. So now this is the marker segment. So we already did, you remember when we relieved the besieged city. So we done that, and the next thing is the turn advance. So we will move to the turn 2. So now you can see the bigger view. So the advance of the German looks promising. They achieved some minor victory here. So now they want to press on to achieve sudden death. They have 2 tours to accomplish this one. So they need to clear this units here and move them to the south. So, okay, that's all, folks, for the turn 1. So next episode will be turn 2. So we will see how this campaign looks like for the Germans. But remember that there will be, after turn 4, I think, so there will be counter-attack for the Soviet army. So Germans has very limited time to achieve goals. Okay, so please appreciate it for your support. So please subscribe to the channel, please comment, and please tell me if you like this kind of video reports, battle reports. If yes, I will make more of them. See you in the next week with this battle report. Okay, bye.